we come with that heat, we got skip on the.
What the hell are y'all doing, Kalen Deboer, Alabama? I'm a Tennessee fan and it pisses me off.
Are we going to be having hot seat discussions by the end of the season? Are we having them right now?
We're having them right now. Kalen Deboer gotta go. I'm a Tennessee fan. I hope he stays.
Yes.
But he gotta go. Alabama's defense looked bad. Alabama's offensive line looked bad. The only bright spot in that game for Alabama was Ty Simpson. There was a big splash last week in the NFL involving Green Bay and the Dallas Cowboys.
The North Sellers for Heisman. Holy crap.
The
SEC has some Heisman studs, except Arch Manning.
Ohio State won at home 14-7 over Texas. A lot of memes, Jacob. A lot of memes about Arch Manning.
My favorite one. Can I tell you my favorite one?
Welcome in, episode 38, $1 Million Radio. Lot to talk about today, Jacob. Football is back.
Let's do it, baby.
3 weeks in a row, I'm saying that. 3 weeks in a row, I'm saying football is back. But back and better than ever it is. Week 1, college football is in the books. After, I guess, tonight, we got TCU, North Carolina. Not going to talk about that game. Going to take me a couple days to edit, so it'll be long gone. Who you got in that game, TCU? No,
I'm going to say North Carolina.
North Carolina?
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I'll take North Carolina plus 3.5. But lot to talk about. Review of week 1, because it is now in the books. Also, Jacob, NFL's back.
Yes, baby. Let's go.
Week 1, NFL starts Thursday night with Dallas.
It's been so long, dude.
Dallas Cowgirls and the defending Super Bowl champions, Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, we're back. We're so back.
Dude, I love it.
I had to throw on my Packers jersey. Jordan Love. Shout out Amber for giving me the coolest jersey I've ever got. For 2 reasons. 1, Packers played this week. Got the Lions. Need to win. But 2, Jacob, there was a big splash last week in the NFL involving 2 of the teams I've already mentioned, Green Bay and the Dallas Cowboys.
The NFL, every other team but the Dallas Cowboys' favorite owner and GM, Jerry Jones, baby.
Yeah.
Can we just thank him for sending him to your way?
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry, for being the owner that you are. I mean, who knows? We'll have to see how this plays out. I think definitely Green Bay benefits from this trade the most as far as this season goes. We did give up our next 2 first-round draft picks for the 2026 and 27 draft. But to get a guy like Micah Parsons, as well as Kenny Clark, we sent him to Dallas. Shout out Kenny Clark for all he's done for Green Bay. But yeah, as far as this season goes, I think the Packers fleeced the Cowboys.
It's a win now move for sure.
Micah Parsons, number 1. The first time anybody for Green Bay has worn the number 1 since Curly Lambeau about 100 years ago. It was a number that was unofficially retired, and Micah was number 11. Jaden Reed is number 11 on the Packers. So he tweeted out a couple days ago, should we go number 0 or number 1 for Micah Parsons? That's what he tweeted. Everybody in the comments was like, Agent 0, do number 0. But he picked number 1. Number 0 is now going to be taken by wide receiver Matthew Golden. I'm so excited for Green Bay this year.
It's a win now move for sure. And you got to appreciate and like how the Packers organization loves Jordan Love. You know what I'm saying? That it's a statement trade, as you could say, you know?
Absolutely. Green Bay's not the type of team to make these kind of splash trades throughout history, but there have been a couple trades that I'm going to bring up the graphic real quick. Let me see if I can find it. I know I have it saved in my phone somewhere. Maybe not.
But is this the year that Jordan Love takes that MVP style push?
I think so. But what
year is it for him? Year 4?
This will be year 3 as a starter, year 5 total.
Okay.
Dang, I don't know if I can find it. I guess I don't have it saved. Maybe I retweeted it or something. I don't know. But there is a graphic and if I can't find it, I'll get to it. It was a picture that showed. Yeah, I don't have it. Okay, sorry. There's a picture that showed. It was 3 pictures stacked on top of each other. It showed Brett Favre and Reggie White. Reggie White got picked up by Green Bay when Brett Favre was there. Can't remember the year, 96, 97, something like that. And then Brett Favre won the Super Bowl at 27 years old with Green Bay. Okay. Not shortly after that, but then we moved on to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers becomes the starting quarterback for a few years. They go out, they get Charles Woodson on defense. Aaron Rodgers wins a Super Bowl at 27 years old. Now, fast forward to last week. Green Bay goes out and gets Micah Parsons for their defense, a Reggie White type caliber player. Reggie White and Micah Parsons are the only 2 players to start their first 4 years of their career with 12 or more sacks each year. Green Bay goes out and gets Micah Parsons. Jacob, tell me how old Jordan Love is. Just take a guess. Take a guess how old Jordan Love is this year.
27.
He is 27 years old.
Micah Parsons ain't much older either.
No, I think he's 26. Moral of the story is go ahead, hit up your local sports book. Green Bay to win the Super Bowl. I think it's plus 1,200 right now. Let's go. Go Pack Go, baby. Go Pack Go. Super Bowl bound with this move. It is a good move for sure. It is a good move. Great move. A lot of questions though. We got such a young wide receiver core, a couple injuries. Christian Watson, we're not going to have him for probably, first half of the year. Our defensive secondary has a lot of big questions. Our corners, we lose Jair Alexander, although he hadn't really played a whole lot for Green Bay over the last couple years, and we've been paying him a lot of money.
Injury prone?
Injury prone, yes. And he's already had question marks going into the year with Baltimore this season. He's had some real bad knee issues. So shout out Jair. I love him. I hate to see him go, but we do have some question marks in that secondary at the cornerback position, although they are backed up by an all-pro safety in Xavier McKinney, who started the first, was it seven games last year that he had an interception in each game. It's anywhere between 5 to 7. I think it was 7 off the top of my head, but that was just insane. Our defensive line is going to be good. Lose Kenny Clark, but we get Micah Parsons. Our linebackers are probably one of the best young linebacker groups in the league. So as far as the defense goes, we should be solid.
Hopefully you can stop the Lions on 4th and 1 when they're going to kick a game-winning field goal.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We got the Lions this week. It's going to be a tough.
That was my favorite play last year. I bet
it was.
It was so awesome. Not because you love the Packers and I love to be a contrarian, but just because the massive cojones of the Lions to
Dan Campbell.
Exactly. They're in field goal range, but they're like, no, I have to end it myself.
Yeah.
I love that. So respect to them. But hey, you have Micah Parsons now, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe a little different.
So we'll get to the NFL slate towards the end of the video. Let's start off with recapping week 1, Jacob. There were some question marks coming into the Tennessee game in Atlanta against Syracuse. Seemed like those question marks were answered.
Yes, absolutely.
I have some notes about the game that we'll get into, but just overall, your thoughts on Tennessee's win, 45-26 over Syracuse, Jacob. Joey Aguilar making his first start. What do you think about the game?
Well, with the positives, man, Joey Aguilar, he's got the deep ball. We have the deep ball back. We have a QB that can throw the deep ball accurately, not overthrow it by 10 to 15 yards.
Yeah.
And that really shows you that Heupel's offense has been there the whole time. We talk about how Alex Golesh, how when he left, it seems to be a bit of a shift in it. But I've been saying, and I'm not the only one, of course, that if we had a QB that could accurately read the defense and throw an accurate long ball, it would have been nearly the same as it was in 2022.
Yeah.
And we saw a bunch of stuff like that, a bunch of plays like that versus Syracuse, especially that 76-yard throw for a touchdown to, was it Kinzelman?
It was Braylon Staley.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a good thing. That's positive right there. A negative, the receivers, they got to catch, man. That opening drive was a little painful to watch. Not because of Aguilar or anything, and he may have been throwing it a little behind them or so, but you got to catch it. You really do.
Yeah, I think Aguilar, not going to call him Swaguilar just yet. We'll have to see in a couple of weeks how he plays against Georgia.
Absolutely.
But Joey Aguilar seems to be the guy. He could have better ball placement in spots, but like you said, receivers put two hands on the ball. They don't bring it in. 5-star wide receiver Mike Matthews had 2 or 3 drops in the first half. Chris Brazzell, same issue. But if we could work on that, maybe his placement could be a little bit better. Overall, 16 of 28 on the day, 247 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And Jacob,
he did have a fumble.
Yeah, well, there was a question that I asked, which is in the last episode, and shout out Dead End Barbecue for having us out last week. A question I had asked was, what is a good stat line for Joey Aguilar to make you feel confident about him being our starting quarterback this season? And I said around, 200 to 250 yards, maybe a couple touchdowns, but the big question mark would be interceptions, because if he throws a couple interceptions, I'm going to have some worries. And he answered that pretty much perfectly.
Yes.
Like I said, 16 to 28, 247 yards, right at the 250 mark, 3 touchdowns, not just 2, and then no interceptions. Our offensive line didn't have David Sanders. He was ruled out just shortly before the game started. 5-star true freshman right tackle. They moved some guys around on the offensive line, but it didn't really look like it mattered much. Our offensive line looked fantastic. Our defense still smothering, although I do have an issue with our defense. Our secondary, they seem to be very good, very athletic. Everybody swarms to the ball very well.
Got Jermon
McCoy, Abu Carter was out there too. The issue I have is maybe not even personnel, but our zone coverage. Like there were so many times, and this is the same issue we had last year. I think back to the Georgia game. The crossing routes that the offense would throw at us, we had no answer for.
Mm-hmm.
There were a good number of times Syracuse had, I remember, a 4th and 10, 3rd and long, stuff like that. They would convert with a simple crossing route, and it would just be finding somebody wide open in a zone where nobody was there. Yeah. I think if we were to stick to, who am I to say? I'm not Tim Banks, the defensive coordinator, but maybe stick to more man press coverage on those types of situations where, there's not just going to be holes in our zone that they can exploit.
Or you could show a blitz every now and then and not blitz. I mean, I love a good blitz, obviously, but you get what I'm saying? If you're showing it and doing it every time, then that route's going to be open.
But overall, I think our defense played very well. Syracuse did seem to control the clock throughout the game. I think that was kind of a game plan for them. That's kind of the go-to game plan when you're playing Josh Heupel in Tennessee. You want to control the clock on offense, put together some long, sustaining drives, milk the clock away, make sure Tennessee doesn't end up with the ball in their hands. But also, it's a little skewed because if you look at time of possession, Syracuse had a whole lot more time of possession, but that was because Josh Heupel's offense is back, baby.
Yep.
Josh Heupel is we ain't on offense long, and we gonna get some points.
But that's a double-edged sword, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Because if you drag out, just say you're the opponent of Tennessee, and you drag out a long drop, you go from the 25 to get a touchdown. If you're dragging out, that's more time the defense is having to stay on the field. So, I mean, either you're rotating guys in and out, trying to keep everyone fresh, or they're just going to get tired. And then if Tennessee's great offense comes out and has a really quick possession, they're just going to go back out and it could be a weakness at that point.
That is the kryptonite for that type of offense is a 3 and out. But overall, Tennessee looked good. They covered 45-26. We got ETSU this week and then Georgia next week. So there's no line out for the ETSU game for whatever reason. I don't know. I'm sure if there was a line, it'd be somewhere like 30, 35 points or so. Kind of what the Chattanooga game was last year. But
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
What's something, and this may be kind of a complicated question, but what's something that Joey or just Tennessee's offense in general did versus Syracuse that didn't affect the game, but if they did it versus a better opponent, would have absolutely changed the game? Like, for me, it would have been that fumble on that RPO.
Yes.
Because we got lucky and we had a scoop and score literally like the next play. But you're doing that versus a good opponent, you know. I'm not like Ohio State, I guess, you know. It could be you're gonna get punished for it, you know.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying for sure. You do that against Georgia next week or 2 weeks from now. That's going to be an issue, and I guarantee you there's not going to be a scoop and score the very next play to save us. But and honestly, if it wasn't for that scoop and score, we were only up 10-0 at that point. We had one touchdown drive with Peyton Lewis punching it in the end zone. The very first drive, we drove all the way down the field and had to settle for a field goal.
Yep.
So it was 10-0 at that point. If you fumble right there, Syracuse goes down and scores a touchdown, let's say, it's 10-7. And now that confidence is kind of fleeting a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, our defense did force. It wasn't just like a missed handoff. We forced a fumble.
Yeah.
We picked it up, sprinted all the way to the end zone to make it 17-0 at the end of the first quarter. So definitely that turnover could have been bad for us. Turned out it wasn't, but we need to make sure that it was just I don't even think it was a read option. I think it was like a play action, and Aguilar just I think maybe Star Thomas's arm hit it or something. I couldn't really tell, but
I bet some fans were like, "I've seen enough. Put Jake in.
Yeah,
put Merkslinger in. I'm ready."
No, but I think overall, Joey Aguilar looked very good. Like you said, he had that deep ball on lock. There was one that he did overthrow in the second half, I think it was. Overall, seemed like he was reading the offense very well, making his reads. Hey, you brought out the point last week too. You want to see him on the ground, didn't you?
I did, and luckily he didn't have to be on the ground as much as I was thinking, but if he does, man, he showed he was capable. You know, he ran about like 35 yards or so total. One
was 20, I think it was 23 yards.
Yeah.
That one scramble. But not only was he running the ball, Jacob, but one thing that gets me going, he wasn't sliding either.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, he wasn't sliding. He was lowering that shoulder, which, hey, could cause some problems later on at any point.
It's very Baker Mayfield-esque, though.
Yeah,
I'll say
he looks like the Baker Mayfield Johnny Manziel type. So I'm very confident going into this season, into the rest of the season now. But we'll see. We'll see in a couple weeks.
And it'll be good versus ETSU to tighten up some of those throws, too.
Absolutely.
And like I said, it's first game jitters. When I go and play pickup on Saturdays, I can't hit a shot worth anything. But I know second game, I'm warmed up. There's a better chance I'm hitting. I'm not saying I do, but,
yeah.
Another
game on the slate for Saturday was the game of the week, number 1 at number 3, Texas at the Buckeyes.
It was supposed to be the
State.
game of the week.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a big defensive guy, then maybe it tickled your fancy. But Ohio State won at home, the defending national champions, 14-7 over Texas. A lot of memes, Jacob. A lot of memes about Arch Manning.
My favorite one. Can I tell you my favorite one?
I might have seen the same one.
Where it's Arch Manning with Walt Jr. for Breaking Bad, saying that they're the same person. Spot the difference type deal.
Oh, okay.
That was my absolute favorite.
No, I didn't see that one. I saw the one that I saw was a picture of Arch Manning, holding the ball, about to make a throw, and inside the helmet, it was Angel Reese.
That's awesome. There's one where it was Shane Gillis, too. It was like Arch Manning when he's not playing Louisiana Monroe. Gosh, that was awesome.
Overall, Texas has nothing to worry about. I don't think.
Yeah, they do. Hell yeah.
I don't think so. I think Arch Manning's going to be fine. I think that they've got too many playmakers, too many people around him for them to have an issue. Arch Manning has the talent. He's going to be okay. They're going to need a couple games to tune up for sure before they hit that real SEC schedule. But I mean, their first game on the road at Ohio State, the defending national champions who, still have one of the most expensive rosters in the country. I mean, it's hard to say that Ohio State, Texas should have beat Ohio State or should have looked better or whatever. With it being, if this was the same game that happened in the middle of the season or late in the season in the playoffs, something like that, then all these memes would make sense, and you could start saying stuff like that.
The first game, he's proven everyone that doubted him right, and now he's going to have to prove everyone that he can actually be a good quarterback. In the SEC.
Texas 0-1, Ohio State 1-0. I'm not sure if the AP poll is going to be coming out today or not, since there's still a game to be played. Maybe the first AP poll change will be next week, but that'll be interesting to see where Texas falls to. I'm sure Ohio State jumps up to number 1. Alabama's going to drop. Alabama's going to drop pretty far. They lost 31-17 at Florida State. Jacob, last week I said going into this game, I just feel like 13.5 was way too many points for a quarterback making his first start on the road at a place like Florida State down in Tallahassee. I think it's Doak Walker Stadium, but
you had a hell of a point.
That's just what I was feeling. I did not think Florida State was going to dog walk Alabama. I'll tell you that right now. Alabama's defense looked bad. Alabama's offensive line looked bad. The only bright spot, and this is not just me being biased, the only bright spot in that game for Alabama was Ty Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
I really think so. 23 of 43, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was back there running for his life because of his damn offensive line. He was running for his life, and he played his heart out. Couple scrambles that he had where he broke a couple tackles in the backfield and still scrambled for 5 to 10 yards. He looked very good.
Also, there was a scramble where he very poorly underthrew a pass that would have been a first down. I'm not saying that to criticize your boy. I'm just saying.
No.
I'm just saying, like,
he didn't play perfect.
If he had tightened up that, then it would have been a way better game probably for him.
Yeah. Not saying he played perfectly at all, but he played hard, and there were so many players like defensively for Alabama that just weren't playing Alabama football. They weren't running to the ball. They weren't swarming. They weren't hitting hard. Kalen Deboer, I hope he stays there as a Tennessee fan, but if you're an Alabama fan, I don't see how you can support Kalen Deboer. There are also reports coming out, I don't know how true these are, but a big booster from Alabama tweeted how they've been, they're the type of people that travel with the team and stay in the team hotels and all that. And they were comparing the time under Nick Saban to now with Kalen Deboer, talking about how players are staying out till 1 or 2 a.m., ordering DoorDash delivered to the hotels, fast food the night before a game and stuff like that. You see, oh my God, you see Ryan Williams walking off the bus with a stuffed animal for like, what was it? Just anxiety support or what?
I thought it would have been for his sister or something.
Did you see that though?
Yeah, I did. I did not know it was for himself.
It was, yeah, he was walking by Ty and he had like a stuffed animal for support. The hell are you doing, bro? What the hell are y'all doing, Kalen Deboer, Alabama? I'm a Tennessee fan and it pisses me off.
Are we going to be having hot seat discussions by the end of the season? Are we having them right now?
We're having them right now. Kalen Deboer gotta go. I'm a Tennessee fan. I hope he stays.
Yes.
But he gotta go. I don't like seeing Alabama be a pushover, losing to Florida State. Come on. Lose to Tennessee. Don't lose to Florida State. Jeez.
Or is Florida State just really good compared to last year? Obviously, they're good compared to last year, but
Yeah. I was gonna make a point. I felt like Florida State's 2-10 season was an outlier. Bama was in a tough spot going into that game. Not only your quarterback making his first start, but you just have all the not off-season drama, but more like turmoil where you lose to Vanderbilt last year, you lose to Oklahoma, you lose to Michigan when you're favored by 2 touchdowns in the bowl game
and
last year.
You had your starting quarterback that's been playing with you all year playing in it, and you still lose?
Yeah. So Kalen Deboer, as far as the fans go, he's been in the hot seat. But with this game against Florida State, I mean, I don't see how he keeps his job throughout the season unless he beats Georgia in a couple weeks. Because they got Louisiana Lafayette and I think one more smaller school that they've got to play to tune up with. And then they've got Georgia in Athens at the end of September. So I'm going to get off my high horse. But as a Tennessee fan, I love to see it.
I love it.
As a football fan, as a guy who respects Nick Saban and what he did at Alabama, as a guy who is an SEC guy, I don't ever want to see Alabama losing to Florida State like that. Can't happen. Shout out Ty.
Shout out Tommy Castellanos.
Yeah. Shout out Tommy C. Shout out Tommy C.
And he called it too. He said,
he talked his talk.
I mean, he was saying how Saban's not here to save them and how he's coming for them, and he did.
He talked the talk and walked the walk, and he walked all over Alabama.
And I think we should shout out Squirrel White, former Tennessee wide receiver.
Yeah. He
had an amazing catch. I don't know if he caught anything else. I didn't see if he did. But he really helped shift the momentum with that really like 40-yard catch.
That catch was the same type of catch that Ramel Keaton had from Hendon Hooker in that Florida game in 22. It looked just like it. But yeah, Alabama loses to FSU 31-17. I think Gus Malzahn being the offensive coordinator at Florida State, having Tommy Castellanos, who was at Boston College last year when Boston College beat Florida State to make them 0-2 after Florida State lost in Ireland to Georgia Tech. And that started that 2-10 skid for the Seminoles last year. But moving on, got to move on. I could talk about that game all day.
Me too. I go back and watch. I watched this morning Alabama versus Vanderbilt, and I mean from last year.
Yeah,
I love watching Alabama lose. So Kalen Deboer, keep doing what you're doing, buddy.
Yeah. But moving on to the nightcap on Saturday night, which wasn't the nightcap. That was UCLA and Utah. We can get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
LSU defeated Clemson 17-10 Saturday night. The LSU Tigers had lost 5 consecutive season openers. Brian Kelly hadn't won a season opener at LSU. He's been there, 2 or 3 years now. They outscored Clemson 14-0 in the second half. Garrett Nussmeier looked like the most NFL-ready quarterback that I saw in week 1, in my opinion.
Are you sure it wasn't Nico?
No, it wasn't Nico. It wasn't.
It was Arch then. It had to have been Arch.
No, it wasn't Arch.
The Heisman front runner.
No, it wasn't Arch.
So
it wasn't Cade Klubnik. It was Garrett Nussmeier. He looked good.
I bet his odds just shot up, since he won.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And he actually had, more than one touchdown.
Yeah.
Or he drove them to more than one touchdown, at least.
I don't have a whole lot to say about this game other than LSU looks like they're going to be pretty good this year. A lot of people have been calling for that in the offseason. They think LSU is gonna show up and show out. You see Alabama lose the way they did. You see LSU win the way they did. That's a game to keep, or 2 teams to keep our eye on going out throughout the rest of the season in the SEC. But yeah, LSU, they got the job done.
This is what Texas versus Ohio State should have been.
Yeah.
This game.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It wasn't.
I feel that. Some other scores to talk about that I made note of. Auburn defeated Baylor 38-24. That game was on Friday night.
Jackson Arnold made his debut. He scrambled for a few touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's in a better place than he was Oklahoma.
Auburn had over 300 yards of offense on the ground in that game. Carving through Baylor like Swiss cheese. Georgia defeated Marshall 45-7. Might be a little too early. I think that Gunnar Stockton is the reincarnation of Stetson Bennett. I think that Kirby's got his guy. I think he's going to play. He's not going to be a quarterback that does anything in the NFL. But as far as college football goes, Georgia is going to be up there for the next couple years, which isn't a hot take because it's Georgia and Kirby Smart and all that. But and I don't think Gunnar Stockton's the type of guy to get a speeding ticket.
Yeah.
So I think that's something to make note of.
Georgia is the new Alabama.
Correct.
That's not anything crazy, but that's just how it is. They're
Yeah.
going to be in national title contention every year.
Florida had a very tough opponent. They did win 55-0 against Long Island.
High school team, Long Island.
Yeah.
Basically.
I didn't know Long Island had it. I'm very in tune with college athletics and universities. I had no idea Long Island University was, one, a university, but two, had a football team.
What's a Long Island? Like, I don't know.
Anyways, I don't think there needs to be anything taken away from this game.
DJ Lagway for Heisman. That's all I'm saying.
55-0 over Long Island. Took care of business, I guess. South Carolina, good win against Virginia Tech yesterday, 24-11.
The North Sellers for Heisman. Holy crap.
The North Sellers
SEC
look good.
has some Heisman studs, except Arch Manning.
Hey, you called it, or we called it too, by the way. Last night, Miami defeated Notre Dame 27-24 on a field goal with about a minute left. And then Notre Dame just crumbled in that last drive.
Play of the week, one-handed catch for a touchdown.
Yes.
By Miami's receiver. Carson Beck falling down, nearly got sacked.
Yep.
Throws up for a prayer, the dude. You cannot do analysis on this stuff. You cannot do analytics. This is what football is. A one-handed catch for a touchdown. God bless, dude. What a game that was.
Football's back, baby.
I
It's
know.
so nice.
I
It's
love
so
it.
nice.
Carson Beck, man, he looks like, obviously he's playing against Notre Dame, which they were in the title game last year. Very good team, but he's not going to consistently have to go out and play against the LSUs and
Yeah, correct.
all the SEC opponents that he would have had. So, but I'm not saying that makes him a worse quarterback. I'm just saying
He's in a better spot.
he really is for himself. So I could see them actually making a push for the top 10. I know they're already there, but even more staying there throughout the course of the
Making
season.
a playoff push.
Exactly.
As long as they don't lose to Syracuse at the end of the season.
And give up a 21-point comeback.
Their two losses last year, they only had two. Georgia Tech and Syracuse.
Mhm.
So
and the Pop-Tart Bowl, but
maybe if Carson Beck does very well this year, he'll be the number one pick next year, like Cam Ward was.
we'll see. He'll go to the Packers and he'll replace Jordan Love. Starting QB, Micah Parsons, maybe will be there to bail him out on defense. Okay.
Nah. All right. So that will recap week 1 of college football. If there's anything that we missed, let us know. Put it in the comments.
Out of 10.
A team that you wanted us to talk about.
Out of 10, what do you rate it? I'm going to give it 8.5. I think it was honestly about as good as it could have been. I mean, it probably could a little bit better. Obviously, anything can be a little bit better, but 8.5 out of 10. Great opener.
I will rate this week 1 a 10 out of 10 just because football's back, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. But week 2, we got a lot of big games in week 2, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking number 12 Illinois at Duke.
Whew.
I'm talking Baylor at 16 SMU.
Oh my.
I'm talking 21 Ole Miss at Kentucky.
Grudge match, rematch of last year, baby. Remember last year, Kentucky? They scraped by and beat Ole Miss, and that was one of the reasons.
A rainy game.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons they didn't make the playoff.
I'm talking Kansas at Missouri.
That's a heater.
What about the Bulls of USF at Florida?
I don't know. It's going to go down to the wire.
College game day. I was wondering why they were going to Norman, Oklahoma for the Michigan and Oklahoma game. But it's the only ranked matchup on the slate. Number 14, Michigan at number 18, Oklahoma. Oklahoma -6.5. I wrote these games down. There's a couple notes that I want to look at. You got number 12, Illinois at Duke. Duke +2.5.
Illinois number 12 is crazy. I'm not saying they don't deserve it. It's just they're low key everything school, or they're at least a basketball and a football school.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, for sure. Duke. I'm saying Duke +2.5 only because it's not because of me thinking Illinois is overranked or anything like that. I do like the Fighting Illini. 88% of the money and 88% of the bets are on Illinois -2.5. That means Duke at home +2.5 is the move.
Yeah.
Duke +2.5.
Duke is pretty good at home. Remember when they played Miami at home?
I know. They got a really good quarterback that they paid millions of dollars for.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. But anyway, I digress. Number 21, Ole Miss at Kentucky. Ole Miss -10.5 on the road. 76% of the money, 79% of the bets on Ole Miss. Give me Kentucky +10.5.
But does Kentucky play spoiler to Ole Miss again? I don't think so this time.
Well, they're at home.
They were at home last year, weren't they? I thought they were. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know why.
Honestly, I thought they were too.
Me too.
But maybe not. I think they are. Let me check to make sure I didn't just write it down wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Ole Miss at Kentucky. So with Kentucky being at home, they did not look that great against Toledo last week. Ole Miss took care of their opponent this past weekend. 10.5 at home seems like way too many points. So give me Kentucky +10.5. It'll be 2 weeks in a row I bet on Kentucky with the spread. And if they let me down again, then I'm never betting on the Kentucky Wildcats.
Real quick, I just want to apologize. Kentucky went into their crib, into their trap, and took over their trap. Yeah, that's what Kentucky did to Ole Miss last year. So my apologies, I'm an idiot.
It was a rainy game in Ole Miss last year and
beat them by a field goal.
Yeah. So anyways, week 2, Tennessee hosting ETSU. Just going to be looking at what, I don't know.
UT has to take the week to tighten up their offense and their defense, of course. Obviously, they're not going to be tested as much as they will be when they play Georgia. But.
Hold on. There's a point that we completely missed about the Tennessee-Syracuse game, Jacob.
Steve Angeli looking like.
No, it has nothing. It has nothing to do with the players, the coaches. Oh. It has everything to do with ESPN.
Dude, don't get me started, man. You can go ahead and talk about it, and I'll join in with you.
I don't know what ESPN's problem is with the University of Tennessee athletics, whether it's football, whether it's basketball. Anytime Tennessee has a game coming on after a game that's already on ESPN, we have to sit through 2 overtimes before we get to watch Tennessee take the court, Tennessee take the field, whatever it is. The game's already halfway through the first half by the time we get to lay our eyes on Tennessee. But no, whenever Tennessee's the first game, whenever Tennessee is playing, the game's taking a little too long. They cut away from Tennessee to put on Alabama.
And it's not just football.
It's not.
This happens with basketball, and that's the only 2 sports I watch. But regardless, that's 2 sports too many. That's 1 sport too many, if I'm being honest.
I understand ESPN has a deal with the SEC. I understand Alabama is a top premier program. They get a lot of views. They get a lot of eyes on the channel, so everybody can get their ad revenue in and all of that. I don't think any fan base in the SEC is more passionate or is more tuned in to their team than the Tennessee Volunteers fans. The fact that I don't care if Tennessee just scored a touchdown to put the game away. I don't care if there was a minute, 2 minutes, whatever on the clock. When I go into work, I got to be there at 4 o'clock and the game is still on. and I walk in to watch the final 60 seconds, and I see Alabama on the screen after just listening to the radio broadcast in my car, I was heated.
Sickening.
I was heated.
Just to see Kalen Deboer, Darlinstone Dubar, just to see him go out there and make Alabama a lesser program, it pisses me off. I'm trying to watch my team win. I'm not trying to watch another SEC team lose. I'm not trying to watch Florida State put the belt to ass to Alabama. I want to watch Tennessee beat the hell out of Syracuse in the last 2 minutes, even though they're already up by 20. Okay?
Amen.
Is that too much to ask? Maybe it is to ESPN.
Oh, but it's on. It was still on ESPN News.
You can't even watch it if you have YouTube TV. Did you know that? If you have YouTube TV and you go to where it was saying it was played, it's not available.
I'll tell you this.
This is why piracy happens.
Speaking of piracy, guess what happens with all the sites that we stream the games from, allegedly?
What happens?
They end up showing the Alabama game too because they don't have ESPN
Exactly.
News. All right.
I can't even. That's it.
I feel a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't feel. I'm still a little pissed, but
not much.
Because imagine that feeling. I'm sitting on the couch watching it, and all of a sudden it flips to Alabama FSU, and I'm like, okay, it's just showing them getting warmed up, right? It usually does that. The next game up, it shows the coaches and all that stuff, the band, but then it'll go right back to the live broadcasts. No. I'm hearing the Tennessee Syracuse game. I'm hearing Mike Keith go on about another touchdown while the footage for Alabama FSU is on. I'm sick thinking about that. It's not. Look, in this realm of sports, everything is so cranked up and passionate, and that's how I feel about the situation. I want to see my team play. And I think we all deserve it. I think every team deserves to have a fan base that is able to watch their games and not get cut off in the last 2 minutes. But I digress.
Yeah, Jacob. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Now we got that off our chests. NFL, baby. We're back. We're back with the pack. Go, pack, go. All right. Gets kicked off Thursday night. Defending Super Bowl champions, Philadelphia Eagles host the Dallas Cowboys. Philadelphia minus 7.5, over under 47.5. And I will say, Jacob, 81% of the money, 70% of the bets are on Philadelphia to cover over a touchdown. 8 or more points. That tells me, with everything going on, Jerry Jones, Micah Parsons, Brian Schottenheimer, Dak Prescott. That tells me Dallas plus 7.5.
Really?
Okay. It does. Yep.
Wow.
I will also say Friday night, the LA Chargers host the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City on the road, minus 3. 69% of the money. 61% of the bets are on Kansas City, minus 3.
I think they're going to have an awful year.
Awful?
I think so. So we've seen the team that loses in the Super Bowl the following year, for the past few years, the following season, they do awful. I think that trend continues.
I like that.
The Eagles did eventually bounce back, of course. I'm not saying the Chiefs won't have a chance. I just think this year they have a down year. Patrick Mahomes has been digressing pretty bad. Like, he was not great last year. Let's be honest about that. He was not great. They barely skimmed by. I think teams are going to start to understand their game plans and stuff. I don't think the Chiefs do as good. I think they'll get in the wild card, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point with that. The Super Bowl runner-up the following year. That is something. I mean, you see a couple years ago, it was the 49ers.
It was the Eagles. 49ers, Eagles.
Yeah, and then 49ers had a terrible year last year.
Yeah.
But you see last year, Kansas City relied heavily on their defense. That's one of the reasons why in my fantasy league, I drafted the Kansas City defense this year because I think they're going to have to do the same thing. You got Rashee Rice, who's going to be suspended for, I think, 6 games, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Xavier Worthy, I think, is battling some type of questionable injury. So Isaiah Pacheco in the backfield, Travis Kelce, tight end. Travis not looking. I think he didn't get his first touchdown until late November or December last year, which was something crazy. But more games on the slate. Moving on to Sunday, the first NFL Sunday of the 2025 season. We got the Giants at Commanders, Washington -6.5. I'm just going to kind of go through the slate. We can talk about a couple games as they come up. Carolina at Jacksonville, Jaguars -3 at home. Then we got the Jets hosting the Steelers. It'll be Aaron Rodgers on the road to his old team, not the Packers, the New York Jets. Pittsburgh -2.5 in Aaron Rodgers' first start as a Pittsburgh Steeler. Over under 37.5. Jeez. Snooze fest. Also at 1 o'clock in the early afternoon slate, the Patriots host the Raiders. It'll be Ashton Genty getting his first action on the road at New England. Drake May is the quarterback. We'll see Travion Henderson, another rookie running back in that game. Mike Vrabel's first game coaching his old team. New England -2.5, 68% of the money, 56% of the bets is on New England. Might take them in that game. Also might just take the under, 43.5. Saints hosting the Cardinals. Arizona -5.5 in that game, over under 42.5. Moving on, still in this early afternoon slate, still got a couple more games. Griffins Bengals -5.5 at Cleveland, over under 47.5. When's the last time Cincinnati won a season opener, Jacob?
I probably wasn't even alive, if I'm being honest.
When's the last time they won a game in their first 3 games of the opening season, Jacob?
Same answer. I was fortunate enough to see them lose one of their openers versus the Ravens last year, game of the year. Not their opener, but
early in the season.
Exactly. They're like 0-3 after the Ravens game last year, game of the year. But regardless,
Cincinnati might have a great year. Cincinnati's probably gonna have a great year. Not this game. Cleveland +5.5.
I think they're gonna have a great offensive year.
Oh, I do too.
Defense, okay. Move on.
The only thing that I worry about with this game is that it's the Browns, and the Browns freaking suck. 84% of the money, 73% of the bets is on Cincinnati.
Give me Joe Flacco to throw 300 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking. Their opener last year was against the New England Patriots, who finished with 3 wins. One of them came in week 1 against Cincinnati.
Will this curse continue?
I think it does. Give me Cleveland +5.5. The Colts will host the Miami Dolphins. Colts pick'em favorites -1.5, -116 on the money line for the Colts, -102 for the Dolphins. Over under 46.5. 78% of the money, 73% of the bets on Miami. I don't like that, but I will take Miami money line.
Miami's trash, dude.
Yeah. Hey, Tyreek's back. Jalen Waddle, Tua. Tua hadn't got hurt yet this season, so we'll see.
Congrats. You have Tua as your quarterback.
Yeah, I don't even think Miami fans like that. Falcons host the Buccaneers, +2.5 for Atlanta. Michael Penix. Over under.
Michael Penix.
No, I said Penix.
No, bro.
46.5 is the over under.
No disrespect either. I was just kidding.
A lot of the money is on Tampa Bay. Worries me on that. I'm staying away from that game for sure. Titans at the Broncos, -7.5 for Denver. 91% of the money, 75% of the bets is on Denver. And Cam Ward's first start on the road. Not only is it a road game, but he's a mile in the air with less air to breathe in Denver.
Mile in the sky with less air. How about that?
There you go. +7.5 for Tennessee. Give it to me all day. Twice on Sundays. +7.5. Whenever the money is that much in Denver's favor, 91% of the money, 75% of the bets are on Denver. I might take Tennessee money line plus 330. That's what I'm feeling.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm feeling. Oh shoot, what I do. That is the first game of the late afternoon slate that'll kick off at 4:05. Also, at the same time, 49ers at Seattle, minus 2.5 for San Francisco with C-Mac back.
Rejuvenated, rehabilitated, healthy.
Now, this is what I'm talking about, Jacob. Green Bay plays host to Detroit. Minus 2.5 for the Packers. I don't like Green Bay being favored.
Y'all are so cooked.
I do like 75% of the money, 73% of the bets are on Detroit. Over under 47.5, maybe take the under.
A little give and take right here. So it's but do you bet? You don't bet on your team.
I don't bet on my teams. Tennessee, Green Bay. The only team I will bet on is the Lakers. Okay. Just because I don't.
It's basketball. There's so many games.
Exactly. Green Bay minus 2.5.
What's your prediction? Just real quick. Give me a score prediction. I think it'd probably be like 2017.
This is going to be a game where we start off slow. This is going to be a game like where usual. Detroit comes out. They don't have their offensive or defensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, now the head coach of the Chicago Bears. Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator, now the head coach of the New York Jets. Green Bay's keeping everybody. We add Micah Parsons. He's going to be in the green and gold on the field. Our offensive line, I think, is going to do a pretty good job holding off Aiden Hutchinson and company. Detroit secondary worries me, especially with our young offensive receivers and whatnot. But we do have Josh Jacobs. They've got Jahmyr Gibbs. They got David Montgomery. We got Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is about to have a MVP type year.
Shout out Aiden Hutchinson. What a comeback. That was an awful injury last year.
It was. As far as the score goes, Green Bay 24.
Don't do it.
Detroit Lions 20.
Okay. I thought you were going to do like 24-10, something funny.
No. It's going to be a close game.
Okay.
It's going to be a close game. Green Bay wins. Green Bay covers.
Green Bay's going to give them a little taste of their own medicine, too. 4th down and 1. They're going to go for it.
I absolutely hate to say this. Green Bay hasn't, I think we've beaten Detroit once in the last 3 years. Lost to them both games last year. Beat them in Detroit on Thanksgiving the year before that. Lost again that year. So that's 1-3. And I think the year before that was Aaron Rodgers last season with Green Bay going out 0-2 against the Lions. So
basically, you're the little brother
right now. Yeah, right now we gotta win the North back. The game of the week is gonna cap off Sunday night. Baltimore Ravens at Buffalo Bills. This is gonna be a heater. Jacob.
Elijah Young, Knoxville native, running back, plays for the Bills.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's. I'm sure he's deep or if he's a practice squad or something. But he was recently. He went to the Kansas City Chiefs, was signed, and then they released him. Now he's at Buffalo.
What high school did he go to?
South Dole.
Oh, shout out.
Kinsey went to school with him.
So. Oh yeah. Buffalo.
He was Mr. Football for Tennessee.
Oh yeah, nice. Buffalo minus 1.5, slight favorite. If you take the spread, that's plus money, even money. Baltimore minus 108 on the money line. So Buffalo at home is the pick'em favorite. I think this is their last year in their stadium before they move into their newly built stadium. Over under 50.5.
Give me the Ravens. Give me Derrick Henry.
Okay, I like that.
Lamar Jackson.
I like that.
They're gonna win.
Give me the under. I said it. 50.5. Give me the under. 75% of the money, 68% of the bets are on Baltimore, plus 1.5, which means might be Buffalo, Jacob. Might be Buffalo.
Okay, whatever you think.
But a lot of, as far as percentage-wise goes, a lot of teams heavily favored as far as the money goes.
This is the year Lamar Jackson wins a Super Bowl. I hope. I promise. I hope so bad. They have to win this game, though, to do it.
I saw CBS Sports make an Instagram post last week that said it was They used Madden 26 to simulate the whole season. It was Green Bay defeating Baltimore in the Super Bowl. Jordan Love, Super Bowl MVP. Can't remember who won NFL MVP, but
on one hand, I'd be happy since the Chiefs didn't make it, but on the other hand, I would love Lamar Jackson to win one because he's so talented, amazing quarterback. Should have been there last year, but we got a drop pass in the end zone. But regardless, it is what it is. I think the Ravens. I think if they're going to do it this year, they got to come out swinging week 1. I'm not saying their season's over if they lose this game. Obviously not. That's ridiculous. But it would be a great sign if they did win it. Give me Ravens, baby. Let's do it. Week 1, NFL.
Jacob, we're back.
I know, dude.
We're here.
This is the last week we can say it. We're back.
Monday Night Football. I'll mention Vikings at Bears. Vikings minus 1.5. Give me the Vikings. The Bears are. Hold on. Where did I go? Yeah. Give me the Vikings in that game. I'll go Vikings money line, but yeah, it's here. Jacob, do you have a $1 Million Radio song of the week as we wrap things up here in episode 38 of $1 Million Radio?
I do. It's my newest single, Level Head. Me and a girl named Sophie Perez. She's a very talented artist, very good singer, very good producer as well. We worked on a song together. We released it a little early last week, and I think it's my most streamed song now.
Nice. It's an awesome song.
I'm at 419 monthly listeners, so.
Wow. Shout out Myers Hollow. I will echo that sentiment. Level Head, Sophie Perez, Myers Hollow. I'll probably, it's playing right now. Check it out on all streaming platforms. Myers Hollow, Sophie Perez, Level Head. And any last words, Jacob?
Go Vols, baby.
Go Vols, go Pack, go. Visit our website, mdminds.com. Get you a hat, get you a hoodie. Fall weather is here, well, around the corner. Hopefully this is not a false fall that we're experiencing here in Knoxville, Tennessee. But great weather throughout the rest of the week. Football is back. NFL Week 1, CFB Week 2 coming up. And you have our plays. You have our predictions. Do as you please with those. Episode 38, $1 Million Radio. And as always, we'll see you next time.